Okay, welcome back. Part 11, I think we're on. I was just looking at the timestamps here. So according to this, the first video I started was 10 past 5 p.m. yesterday, so only just over 24 hours. You can see I think I went to about 10:30 last night. Started at 11:30 a.m. this morning. I thought I started earlier than that, but there we go. Stopped for dinner, played around with the kids. It's now 10 to 9 and I'm picking back up on this one. So you're getting an idea of how much I've got done in literally less than a day with sleep and mucking around doing other things. In between the last video and this one, done a couple of things. Got the full split screen process working. I'll show you what the results of that look like in a second. Had to do some more tweaks around FFmpeg quality, and the GPU support is working really well. Created the GitHub repo, private, pushed this up and pulled it down on my PC here. That's got an RTX 4080 NVIDIA GPU. Absolutely tears through the video encoding, so it's going to work like a charm. Had to make a couple of minor tweaks to get it working on Windows. Nothing important, just like script differences. So that's pushed back up and pulled back down here, so the Windows changes are on here as well. And it's literally, I think there was a text encoding issue with the captions or something, and then the Python environment, you have to run a slightly different path on Windows to Mac. That's it. So it works on Windows, works on Mac, and then tweaks to all these scripts. So all these scripts, the stages of the pipeline, had Claude change all those. So all of these print the time they took at the end. So for me, I'm like, for some of these videos that have taken a really long time, I want to know how long each stage of the script takes. Once we get into the overall pipeline that's going to run all these scripts in stages, I'll get that to collect that timing value, and we'll keep it, and then we'll have an idea of how long the overall pipeline takes per video. What else? Oh, and the FFmpeg progress. So there were a few places where I was using the run FFmpeg and it wasn't showing the progress. So I had Claude refactor those. So every single place now runs that FFmpeg with progress bar, so that you can see that spitting that out. And yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to since the last video. So plan for this one, going to do a bit of admin, going to clean up these PRDs, we're going to look at the backlog, then we're going to look at the shorts layout, and then we're going to spend a little bit of time on captions, and I'll talk about this nightmare with FFmpeg and getting it to support captions. But to cut a long story short, Claude is telling me I need some custom build with this libass for the captions in order for it to render. So it's created another script, install FFmpeg, which is going to install a custom version of FFmpeg with that caption library support. That should cover it. All right, let's go back. Admin. So I'm going to delete this part 11 once we're done. PRD1 FFmpeg performance. This is kind of done. So abstract your calls to run with progress. That's done. Make it detect the operating system computer capabilities. That's done. Tested it on Windows. It works. It uses the NVIDIA GPU. Encoding presets. I actually didn't even tell Claude to do this, but it's kind of done it and it works. So this is done. This one's done. I'm going to drag it into done in here. Shorts creation improvements. So if you remember back in one of the previous videos, I talked about there being two problems. There's the problem with the video resolution for the shorts, where it was just rendering widescreen as shorts and it needs to be vertical. And then there's the how good are the actual shorts. So this one is done. I'm going to show you the results of that in a moment. Even though it needs tweaks, it's working. So I'm going to delete this and just make this the remaining requirement in this. And we'll look at this a little bit later because it's not kind of mega urgent now. So that's that one. Shorts captions. This is a PRD I started writing. We're going to work on this in this video. I'll come back to it. Shorts creation. So I wanted to show you this. I talked about this in one of the other videos. I was trying to get that Claude Anthropic video that is kind of the gold standard of how I want these shorts to look. So let me show you this quick. So the audio's not on, the guy's talking, but you can see the setup. So he's got him on the bottom with his camera. Up the top, he's got his coding, but you can see it's kind of zoomed in. It's been edited. I've watched some of the other shorts on his channel. So there's definitely, like there you can see there's a zoom in, there's a zoom out, there's like highlighting. So all that kind of stuff, some of that I think I'm actually going to be able to automate. And then in the middle, he's got the captions. So this is a great format, and I think I can get pretty close to this automated. So that's what I'm going for. I'll keep that. So we'll call that shorts creation. I'll call it gold standard. I'm just going to leave it like that because it's kind of self-explanatory. And then split video extraction. So this is that PRD I wrote to have Claude refactor all these scripts so they would support this mode where it's going to split the video and then reprocess it. So that's now done. It's working. It's complete. So I'm going to drag that to done as well. And then the PRD, this is the original PRD from right at the start, video 1. I'll put that in done because we're done with it. Task list. So task list, I'm going to jump over to Obsidian to take a look at. So yeah, this is how the PRD folder is looking. Before we go to Obsidian though, let me just show you how all this is looking. So we come down here, we'll go to this one, split screen quality. So this is just a shorter video. Actually, no, let me go to fixing shorts generation. So this was part 9. So I've ran the full thing, had to do it a couple of times. And then you can see, like I demoed this before, it pulls each side out of the video correctly, chops each video, puts it back together, all no problem. So like the final video is like this. So this is from starting with that full wide split screen, my webcam on the left, VS Code screen on the right, and it's separated them, chopped the silence out, and then put it back together, overlaying my video bottom right and the screen recording behind. And yeah, it's perfect. So that's exactly what I wanted. Now for the shorts, we've got a different treatment. So if we look at the shorts, where's it put that? I'm in split screen quality. I'm in the wrong one. I should be in here. Yeah, this is where I'm meant to be. So again, I was looking at the wrong one. There is actually some quality issues with this. I need to redo it, but I know it's fixed. If you check the shorts out, so this is what it's done with the shorts. And this is the whole reason that I wanted to separate the webcam from the screen, because now I can start to make this work like my friend there on TikTok and get these shorts looking a bit close to what he was doing. So this is something we're going to work on in this video. It's done what I asked it to do. So it's put me up the top, stretched the video to go left to right, and it's put the video, the screen record on the bottom, set that left to right. So we're going to do a couple of changes to this. So first I'm going to flip it round. So I want me on the bottom, code on the top. Second, I'm just going to get it to zoom in. So I am cropped and I occupy the bottom half of the screen. And then the code's going to be a little bit trickier, but I think I'll just get it to do kind of a little bit of a zoom in to start with, and that'll do. Later on, what I'm going to try and do is see if I can get FFmpeg to detect areas of motion, and then I can use that to kind of do dynamic zooming or cutting. It's going to be a bit more complicated, out of scope for now. And so we'll get that fixed up super quick. And then we'll move on to the captioning. The captioning works. So this is what all this nightmare with the FFmpeg version uses. It's got this newer library for captioning. I can quickly show you what that's going to look like, and it needs work as well. Here we go. So there you go, down the bottom. You can see the kind of captions it's burning out. Now, this has done it on the main video. I'm not going to want it on the main video. I'm going to want it on the shorts. So we'll get it to change that as well. But we have all the pieces together now. We have all the pieces to go from a raw recording from OBS of my web camera and my screen and generate a fully edited video for YouTube and a number of shorts that we're going to get right into this sort of style that can just be fired out on all platforms as well. And it's just over 24 hours. So there we go. Feeling pretty good about this. Let's go check out our backlog, see where we are. I've added a few things to this as well. So to do, still working through these scripts. We're near the end. And we're going to need to go through and work on some problems with different ones. I mean, really generate captions is the last one. The review stage is like, but I'm going to add more stages. So we're going to be adding one, image generation. So thumbnails is key. That's going to be fun. Nano banana. And then two, publishing. And then publishing is going to be multi-layered because we're going to need YouTube publishing, we need YouTube Shorts publishing, which will be the same code, and then I'm going to look at like LinkedIn, TikTok as well. So YouTube and TikTok are the main ones for me to nail out. I don't even know if you can API publish to TikTok. We'll figure it out. So that's work through scripts. So we're going really well. So I would say we are at, so we're kind of at 9, and then 11's total, but if I add publishing, say 2 and images 3, that's going to be 14. So we're kind of 9 out of 14. Detect shorts, auto approve short creation based on score tolerance. If you remember, I talked about that. That's still to do. Make final FFmpeg settings higher. Done that, happy with that, I've tested that, looks good. Make sure scripts can be run independently on older videos. Haven't done that yet. Add duration to all scripts. Done that. That's that timestamp it's going to put in. Abstract FFmpeg with settings. I've done that. So Claude had repeated the FFmpeg. It's not that it repeated the code. It was the same function, but it was starting to mix parameters. And I'm like, no. Let's get the same parameters going through. Speed up processing. So that's that chat I had with Claude. This is pretty much done. There's a couple of other suggestions in there, but I'm not sure I'll bother with them because I'm pretty happy with it at the moment. Add agent instructions. I still need to do this. I haven't added any agent instructions to this repo. It's as simple as going, hey, Claude, create yourself some agent instructions, and then I'll chuck a couple of other bits in there I like. But it's been going okay. Because it's getting semi-serious now, this code. Get pre-flight to check computer capabilities and optimize pipeline. So what is this? This is, if you're on an M1, get it to use the, I forget the name of it, but there's a codec that makes Macs use the faster chip rather than the CPU. And then conversely, if it's running on a computer with an NVIDIA GPU, get it to use the NVIDIA codec. It's already done that. So it did that as part of the FFmpeg refactoring. So that's the FFmpeg function does the auto detect. So that just works. Get each script to update state in manifest or similar. So we're going to need this because we're going to be near to me wanting to just go, right, run the lot. And what I'm expecting is stuff's going to fail. So I want each job to have a state file where if it breaks at step 6, I can go, hey, rerun it, or it auto retries. And then it can just, run till it completes. So that's going to be a thing that comes up that's kind of important. So knocked a few off. We'll move those down to the bottom. While we're here, I had to get new API keys to set up the script on the Windows box. So I logged into both OpenAI and Anthropic to generate new keys and took a look at the costs. So far, I've burnt 50 cents on Whisper, and pretty much every single time I've run this, probably a few times outside of the videos in this series, no more than 50 cent bill. Pretty happy with that. And I've been running some of the longer videos in through OpenAI as well on the Whisper transcription. So 50 cents for transcription. Very, very happy with that. Sonnet 4.6, 16 requests I've made, 56 cents. Ouch. Holy moly, that's super expensive. So that's all going to be on this generate content. So this mega prompt, and it takes a while to run this one, that's going, hey, give me 3 titles, give me a description, give me summary, chapters, etc. The ranking, the analysis, narrative analysis, all of that has clocked up 50 cents, which really surprised me. The reason it's surprising is because I've done a lot with OpenAI's models, and certainly if you're going like GPT-5, 5.1, 5.2, they get expensive quickly. But I found I got great results on GPT-5 Mini, and that ends up being much cheaper. So I'm assuming this is running straight on Sonnet 4.6. Yeah, so at minimum, I probably need to dumb this down to 4.5 or lower for testing, because I couldn't care less about the content while I'm testing. But it's like, that's a bit more than I thought it would be. So I was almost, I had a allergic reaction to that when I saw the costs on Anthropic. And I thought, oh, maybe I'll refactor all that to use OpenAI and just have it all go through OpenAI. But it's kind of bearable for the moment. I might run it a month and then see what the bill is and decide, has this massive eradication of time in video editing warranted me having a $10 bill to Sonnet, such as the world we're living in 2026. But anyway, just to give you some insight on costs. Whisper, cheap. Sonnet 4.6, not so much. Testing. Videos over 25 minutes will exceed. I chatted to Claude about that again. I lowered the bitrate from 128 kilohertz to 64 kilohertz. It said I could go to like 16 kilohertz. So I've got loads of headroom in this. So I think this would get me up to, just doing that change would get me up to 50 minutes, and it's still working fine. So I'm going to keep that open. That's done. So we've solved the FFmpeg quality issues, and I haven't done the timestamp stuff either. Now, build job manifest, validate in following stages. This is done. The end to end, this is all working. So the manifest is doing its job. Nothing else to do there. Backlog. Femia, going to look at it later. Collate token costs for all API calls. I'll say all AI API calls, cleanup process, yeah, and done this one, record video and screen separately. So that was one where I didn't think I'd be working on that for a while, but we needed to work on it because of the shorts problem. So knocked a few to-dos off, still a few in there. Let's get back to work. So where are we up to? Admin, review backlog, shorts layout. Okay, let's fix this short script. So render shorts output. Here's what it's doing. Filter. Trim and scale each side to 1080. Width. Pad each to 1080, 90, 60. Centered black fill for remaining height. VStack to produce 1080 by 1920. Okay. So what I want, change this logic. And I'm going to select this because I think that's all it's going to need. Whoa, what did I do? I launched some Python terminal. There's some shortcut command, I don't know what it is, that tripped that in VS Code. Okay, so interesting. It's Shift Enter. So me doing Shift Enter in code runs the Python. You learn something new every day. You can tell I'm a Python novice. I'm not really a Python novice. I've done a bit of it, but I've only been learning Python for a year. So there you go. But with AI, swap the webcam and screen around. Hopefully I'll get that. Oh God, keep doing Shift Enter. I'm too used to typing in the prompt terminal where you need to do Shift Enter, and because it's only in code, I just need to type Enter. That makes sense. Right, 2. Zoom in on the webcam. In fact, let's do zoom in on the webcam and screen. So both use 50% of the vertical space. Boom, look at that. So this is another awesome thing in VS Code. You get the completion. So it knows what I'm going to type. We'll start with that. Let's start. So I'm going to uncomment that. That's command /. I'm going to cut that. Come back here in code. I'm going to clear the context, paste that in, select this, and then I'm going to hit go. And this should knock this out pretty quick. Now, while that's having a little code, I need to figure out how we're going to test this without generating 8 million shorts. Will I be able to do it off the split screen? Let's go take a look. No, because it didn't specify any shorts. So I'm going to have to hack the manifest for fixed shorts generation to only have 1, right? So if I come in here, this is where my $5 went. Shorts candidates. See how they're all true. I might change one to false and see if that works. Shouldn't be doing one. I'm just going to delete the other. Oh, bad JSON. Fix that. So 2 shorts, 1 approved, 1 not approved. So good little test. Right. Okay. What's Claude done? Still wants to edit. Let's look at the div. What do we got? It's updated the comment. Assume it's one. Okay. Let's render. So we'll get our test script here. What are we doing? We're doing render outputs. And we're doing 9 fixing shorts generation. I need a UI for this. It's getting cumbersome running these scripts. And we will run that. Oh, another thing I've done. The FFmpeg command that's run in each stage, I write it in the terminal. So I'll only see this when I'm debugging like this, but it's useful for me to go, hang on, what did it do there? Because I'm literally getting these, copying them, pasting them in Claude GPT and going, hey, does this look right if I screwed these up? So one thing I was talking about earlier, that H.264 video toolbox, that is the codec on Mac to get it to use the M1 chip. So this is the reason I like sort of seeing this stuff, so I can see what it's running internally. So this has spat us out a new short. It's only done 1, so that approval did work. And then in theory, yes, it's that one. You can see 9:15. Yeah, exactly what I want. So this is what you'd see on TikTok. This is that split. So there's still issues with like the quality of what it's extracted for the short, but in terms of the layout, like having my code on top and me on the bottom, perfect. So this is great. Like, I don't know what video editors do, and I mean, I'm assuming like, I know there's folks out there doing, you know, oh, I'm going to run it through one of these video AI tools and get, you know, crazy Kling or whatever 3D realistic looking things. That's not what I'm after. I don't want to incur those costs. I want a pipeline that's working with my content and putting me out, not AI content, so to speak. It's still me, right? So yeah, awesome. So that was an easy fix. I'm not going to go any further on doing the zoom. We'll leave that there. What do we like for time? 26 minutes. So I'll spend a little bit of time on the captions. Maybe what I'll do is I'll give a little bit of an intro to the captions. And in fact, maybe we'll do the refactor to get the captions on the shorts, see how long that takes. And then in the next video, we'll style the captions and work on positions and another couple of problems I'll talk about then. So the captions, as I mentioned, it works on the main video. It doesn't work on the shorts. So I was starting to write the PRD for this, extract the core captioning logic in generate captions so it can be run against the shorts as well. I think that will actually do. I was going to write everything I wanted, but this is pretty good. So I'm going to take all this stuff and commit it. FFmpeg install shorts layout fix. What else did we do? Doco. There's no other code changes really. Slam that in. Sync changes. So because I've now got it on GitHub, it's doing that to push the changes remotely. No, do not run git fetch periodically. And then I can get this. We've got a fresh git working area. Should just run. I don't think this needs a plan mode really. I ran another one, kind of YOLO, just go do it, which was a little bit more of a complex prompt. And there's a new update in both Claude Code and GitHub Copilot where it comes back and it asks you questions and it's like, hey, pick the answer, which is really cool. I really like that. So it did that and it went, hey, I'm going to make this change, but I've got a couple of questions first. So I'm like, yeah, cool. Always ask questions. This is where agent instructions are good because the agent instructions, whether you're doing GitHub instructions for GitHub Copilot, whether you're doing agents.md, which is supposed to be the works everywhere, or whether you're doing a Claude.md file, starts to tell this thing, hey, just slow down and stop going crazy and doing stuff and do what I ask you to. Especially on some of my other projects that are web applications, backends, Electron applications. I want it to do a full build and run all the tests every time it changes something. So it always works. Haven't got any of that in this yet. Still running a bit spiky, but we're getting to the point we're going to need that. There you go. So yeah, so it's correctly interesting. So a problem I knew it was going to have is the captions is only generated for the full video. So it's going to need to do the work to figure out the captions for the shorts. So I'll be interested to see if it's done that. So we can look at the changes so far as it's still coding. Caption video. Shorts caption. Shorts overrides. Looks like it's going to do both in the one. We'll see. Okay, looks clean. Here's a summary of what's changed. New caption video helper encapsulates the full video flow. Build header events right as file. Optionally burn it. Returns the output path or none. Both the final video and each short now call this instead of duplicating the right burn. Correct resolution for short. Optional shorts captions override. Oh, it's got the config. That's what we're going to look at next. Awesome. Let's run. I'm going to go generate captions again. What I might do, we're doing that one. Where does it put? Maybe I haven't run it on this one yet. Let's just yeah, no, I haven't. I've only done the captions on the short video. This might take a while because it's got to do it on the full thing. Typo. So it's going to caption the main video. Yeah, look, this is going to take a while. So it's doing the main video first. Let me just truncate it because we can just do the shorts for this video and then pick up in the next video. I'll just pause this while I figure it out. Okay, back. I think it's just this. I've just commented this out. So if I run that again, fingers crossed, it will just do the shorts. Yeah, there you go. So it's only doing the shorts much quicker. Oh, it's still going to do all of them. Interesting. So that's a bug. So that's going to need to obey the approved flag, but I don't really care that it's doing it because we can immediately look at number one. There it is in rendered. Let's see what we've got. I'm going to play it back as well, turn it down a bit. This is that split screen recording, because I did a test one. This is what we're going to run it on. So it's only a short video, but you can see like exactly what you just saw. I'm kind of chatting on the left and the screen's on the right. Just need to pause for a sec. Okay, picking back up. Just the boy. Don't need to see anymore. Perfect. That gives us the basis. Next thing I want to work on, move it in the center, style it, make it bold, and then split the caption up so there's less of it on screen in one time. That's going to be a bit of a problem. I'll explain it in the next video. See you then.